Quite frankly, I don't know what's worse at this moment right now, of what Tyler Robinson did against Charlie Kirk by murdering him, or on the other end, you have a lot of people out there celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, and exactly how there's a lot of people out there that are saying some of the most terrible things about Charlie Kirk, his supporters, his family, his friends. It's just all out of control. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, we know one thing coming out of this whole situation that took place on September 10th is that there are a lot of American citizens right now coming together, sharing their opinions about Charlie Kirk, really actually just coming together to welcome Charlie's family, his friends, and really just trying to show their support. But on the other end, you have a lot of people saying outright lies about Charlie Kirk, terrible things about this man and his family and even his friends out there, and even those that actually had connections to Charlie Kirk. But you also have a lot of those within show business, within Hollywood. We're talking about actors, actresses, producers, directors, writers, authors, you name it, that are saying some of the most absurd things about Charlie right now. And one of those now also involves George Clooney. We have a lot of actors coming out of the woodwork right now. People like Robert De Niro, Tom Hanks, Alec Baldwin, George Clooney again. And we haven't really heard from them in a very long while, at least, within the past 6 months. And now, basically, they're treating this like the 2024 election. Let's get into this. Now, one thing about Charlie Kirk right now is that, yes, we do know that this whole situation created an entire scenario where a lot of people are just speaking up. A lot of people are just trying to speak their opinion. But you also have a lot of individuals like George Clooney, for example, that have horrible takes. Alright, let's get into this. Now, with Charlie Kirk's death creating a wave of backlash toward those saying awful things about him after he was murdered by Tyler Robinson, one massive development going on now involves more Hollywood celebrities and personalities coming forward and displaying some of their worst takes yet. One of which now involves George Clooney, who has been silent for the most part since 6 months ago at least, where he delivered the following. I think we as a species, we are failing as human beings because after what happened to this man Charlie Kirk, you now have so many uneducated American citizens blaming liberals, Democrats, and those on the left. It's MAGA's immediate response to point the finger and blame innocent Americans who are just trying to live their everyday lives. If there is anyone to blame why America today is a toxic place to live in, and it's exactly why I left, but if there's anyone to blame, it's Donald Trump. I tried to give this man a chance. I tried. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I tried for a while this year, but it has become so clear to me now that he and his supporters have brought nothing to the table to improve our country. We were better off where we were in 2024 and a couple of years before that under Biden. Again, what happened to Charlie, it's something I never want to happen to anybody, but this man really should have known the dangers when you are dealing with such a divided country right now because of Donald Trump. There should have been extra precautions taking place, and there weren't any at all on campus, and somebody is to blame. But I do question, what is causing so many young adults, specifically young adult men, to act this way. It's certainly not coming from the left, I can tell you that much. We are dealing with so many false promises, false narratives, and manipulative behaviors coming from this entire administration and this presidency, and it's creating nothing but chaos. Freedom of speech, as we know it, it's faulty right now. It is dead. If you are an actor or someone in show business, it's like walking on eggshells. I'm sure many feel the same with Trump in office right now. Too many American citizens are just flat out uneducated right now. They are dropping out of schools, not getting jobs. And that's the main problem that I have with actors like George Clooney, Alec Baldwin, Robert De Niro, Tom Hanks, is that they're really just using this opportunity to display their obvious political talking points, their political tirades, their rants, whatever you want to call them. It's like 2024 all over again, right? The November 2024 election, right around that time frame is when a lot of these actors are coming out of the woodwork, saying all these crazy out-of-whack things, and they're using the Charlie Kirk situation to do just that. And the fact that you have someone like George Clooney, who should really just stay in Italy at this point, just stay in Italy. It's none of your business to talk about the current status of the United States at this point, because, quite frankly, he's really not here all that often anymore. He's overall in Italy, and that's just where he is right now. Now, we know one thing about George Clooney is that he will stop at nothing when it comes to pointing the finger at, this specific group or that specific group. Moving on, though, he actually continues to allude further. I can only hope, he says, that people wake up and realize exactly what's going on right now with all this confusion and anger. Most Americans don't really have the proper education to really understand what's going on with the whole Charlie Kirk situation right now. I think everyone needs to seriously sit back and look exactly at what Trump and his supporters have been saying for the past 8+ months. It's something worth looking into. His attack on the arts and on cinema are also not helping at all. His support for tariffs have ruined our once-beloved country, and many other actors and performers need to come together to raise awareness of what MAGA has been going through and what they've been doing to this country. As for Charlie, this should have never happened to anyone, but it could have also been prevented easily if it weren't for these failed policies. Again, I don't know how any of this has anything to do with Trump's policies or, Trump's overall agenda, quote unquote, as they like to put it. It's just absolute ludicrous, and it just goes to show you that when you have those, of course, like George Clooney, Robert De Niro, Tom Hanks, who have become unhinged in the past year and a half to a degree that we have never seen before. The fact that you have a lot of those in the media who are saying similar things and are rightfully getting fired. You have comic book writers coming out of the woodwork saying very similar things about Charlie Kirk, if not worse than that. I mean, just look at what Stephen King said on X just like a day ago, maybe a little bit, more than that, and immediately tried to backtrack and said, oh, I apologize, I made a mistake based on what I said about Charlie. He did nothing but lie about Charlie on X. And it cost him a lot of, appearances for the upcoming movie, The Long Walk. But again, like I've said before, this just goes to show you that George Clooney has nothing else to say other than to really just say that so many Americans are uneducated, so many Americans are dropping out of schools, that they have no clue about anything to do with politics at this point in 2025. That's George Clooney's take. It's always been his take. It's like the same parroted nonsense that we heard in November to December of 2024, both before and after Trump won the 2024 election. And, when you're looking at someone like George Clooney, look, this is exactly why I like to call him the latest iteration of Clooney Tunes, because anything that he says, anything that comes out of George Clooney's mouth, it is nothing but a mockery. It is literally another episode of what I like to call Clooney Tunes. All these different takes by George Clooney when it comes to politics, they really have no actual basis at all that actually mean anything. And I would like to hear what everyone has to say about George Clooney, about other celebrities out there coming out, and other actors and actresses just using the whole Charlie Kirk situation as a way to prop up their politics, as a way to attack Trump supporters, and just vocally ridicule them. And it really is just getting absurd at this point, especially now in 2025. I don't care if you're on the left or the right in the middle, I don't care where you are. Using the Charlie Kirk situation is just disgusting. So I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.